Hello everyone, welcome to Full Moon Movies. There are certain movies that immediately transport you back to a different era of filmmaking, an era before cinematic universes, before every superhero film needed to set up a sequel, and before CGI dominated every action sequence. The Phantom is one of those films. Watching it today, especially through the new Kino Lorber's 4K release, feels like rediscovering a forgotten chapter in comic book movie history. Directed by Simon Wincher and starring Billy Zane, The Phantom was released during a period when Hollywood was still figuring out how to adapt comic book characters to the big screen. Unlike many modern superheroes, The Phantom was already a legendary figure long before Batman, Spider-Man, or the Marvel heroes which dominated the cinemas. Created by Lee Falk, the character was one of the earliest masked heroes in popular culture. What immediately sets the Phantom apart is that he possesses no superpowers. Instead, the legend is built around a mantle passed from father to son over generations. To the people of Bengala, the Phantom appears immortal, the mysterious ghost who walks, who has actually protected the jungle for centuries. It is a simple concept, but one that gives the character a mythology unlike any other comic book hero. Billy Zane proves to be a perfect casting choice. Looking at him in the iconic purple costume, it is difficult to imagine anyone else playing the role. More importantly, Zane treats the material seriously. He understands that the Phantom is not supposed to be a cynical anti-hero. He is a classic adventurer, brave, honorable, and committed to justice. The story follows Kit Walker, the latest Phantom, as he races against the villainous Xander Drax, played by Treat Williams, to recover the three ancient skulls said to contain immense powers. The plot takes the audiences across jungles, secret temples, hidden caves, and bustling cities in a globe-trotting adventure that feels closer to Indiana Jones than a traditional superhero movie. And that is one of the film's greatest strengths. Rather than relying on world-ending threats or giant CGI battles, The Phantom embraces the spirit of old adventure serials. There is a sense of fun and excitement throughout the movie as well. In fact, every sequence feels like it belongs in a Saturday matinee adventure where heroes swing into action, villains hatch elaborate schemes, and ancient mysteries wait to be uncovered. The supporting cast also helps to elevate the film. Christy Swanson brings charm and energy to Diana Palmer. Their relationship feels genuine and playful, adding warmth to the adventure. Now, what surprised me is the revisiting of the film through the Kino Lorber's 4K release is just how visually attractive the movie actually is. For years, many viewers only experienced the Phantom through VHS, television broadcasts, DVD, or older Blu-ray presentations. The 4K release finally allows audiences to appreciate the level of craftsmanship that went into the production. The jungles of Bangala looks richer and more detailed, and the texture of the costume, practical sets, and location photography becomes far more noticeable. Billy Zane's purple costume, which could easily have looked silly, actually appears surprisingly authentic and comic book accurate in 4K. You can see the fabric texture, stitching, and details that were even the lost in previous home video releases can be seen now. The Skull Cave, one of the most iconic locations in the movie, benefits tremendously from the restoration. The shadows, ancient artifacts, the atmospheric lighting now possesses a depth that gives the location a much stronger presence on screen. Now, what becomes even more apparent in the 4K is how much the movie has achieved through practical filmmaking. Unlike today's superhero films, The Phantom relies heavily on physical sets, practical effects, real stunt work, and on-location shooting. Watching the movie in a higher resolution actually enhances your appreciation of the production because you can really see the craftsmanship behind every scene. The action sequences also holds up surprisingly well. Horseback chases, fistfights, shootouts, and jungle pursuits all possesses a tangible quality that modern CGI-heavy films sometimes really lack. The Phantom is a hero who wins through skill, intelligence, and determination rather than supernatural abilities. Another aspect that stands out in the movie is its sincerity. Modern superhero films often balance their stories with irony, self-awareness, and constant jokes. The Phantom comes from a different tradition. It believes completely in its hero and his mythology. The film never apologizes for being an old-fashioned adventure story, and that confidence gives it a unique charm. Of course, the movie was not a commercial success when it was released in 1996. Produced on a reported budget of approximately $45 million, it only earned about 17 million worldwide. From a financial standpoint, it was really a disappointment. But history has been surprisingly kind to The Phantom. Over the years, the film has developed a loyal cult following. Many viewers who discovered it through home videos grew to appreciate its comic book faithfulness, practical action, and adventurous spirit. In many ways, the film was released before audiences were really ready to embrace a faithful comic book adaptation. When compared to other superhero films of its era, The Phantom occupies a fascinating position. It arrived after films like Batman Forever, but before the modern superhero boom that began with X-Men and Spider-Man. Now today, audiences often praise comic book movies that remain faithful to their source material. Ironically, The Phantom was already doing that in 1996. Billy Zane looked like the character, the costume looked like the comic, the story embraced the mythology, yet the movie arrived before comic book accuracy became a major selling point. That is why the Kino Lorber 4K release feels very important. It is not simply a visual upgrade, it is an opportunity to re-evaluate a film that may have been unfairly overlooked during its original release. The restoration highlights the colorful production design, practical filmmaking, and adventurous tone that have helped the movie to endure for nearly 3 decades. For collectors, the release serves as a reminder that not every superhero movie needs to be dark, gritty, or part of a larger universe. Sometimes it is enough to have a charismatic hero, a memorable villain, a lost treasure, and a sense of adventure. Ultimately, The Phantom remains one of the most underrated comic book films of the 1990s. It may not have achieved the box office success of later superhero movies, but it has survived because it understands something timeless about adventure storytelling. Watching it today in Kino Lorber's 4K presentation, I found myself appreciating the movie more than ever before. The restoration reveals the care that went into the production, while the film itself reminds us of a period when superhero movies were still willing to be colorful, sincere, and unapologetically fun. Nearly 30 years later, The Phantom remains a forgotten hero worth rediscovering. And this 4K release is arguably the best way to experience him. Now, this movie is a must-watch.